Today is an absolutely colossal and arguably monumental day for new Nintendo Switch game releases, given that we have 4 pretty major releases dropping today. Interestingly enough, none of these games are brand new games. However, they are significant re-releases and definitive editions that are going to go a long way, and franchises that, for a lot of them, are making their impact for the first time on a Nintendo platform, so that's monumental in its own right. Want to highlight the 4 games that have dropped today. Definitely let me know in the comments section down below what games you're planning on picking up out of these 4. I think one of them, the majority of you are picking up, but nonetheless, all of them are compelling in their own way. So obviously, right off the top, I've been talking about it quite a bit. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is officially out today. I had a chance to play it a little bit this morning, and yeah, it's just as good as ever, and if you're looking for a quality JRPG, this is one to absolutely buy. The game looks gorgeous. Even though it released originally on the Nintendo Wii, it still holds up rather well for a decade-old game, and it really goes to show they have done significant visual upgrades to this game. And then when you talk about Future Connected, 8 to 12 hours of additional content. I believe it's actually more than that, 20 hours if you want to do everything that Future Connected offers. Reworked lip syncing, a redone musical design, you've got reworked gameplay in some regards, a time attack mode, EXP, gimmicks in there as well if you want to change up the experience a little bit. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is just one of the best re-releases that you are ever going to come across, and the word Definitive Edition or re-releases in general sometimes have a negative stigma attached to it. There's a reason why this is going for a full $59.99, because it is absolutely worth it. Just think about it. Future Connected alone, if you're talking about 20 hours of content, if you do everything, you could have priced that as a $20 expansion. Think about getting the base Xenoblade Chronicles game for $40, Future Connected for $20, and then you get all those refinements on top of it. And not to mention, Xenoblade Chronicles is already just a ridiculously good game that is already worth $60, and it is a grandiose experience with so much content. It's an absolute steal, and if you're a fan of JRPGs, absolutely check it out. Alright, moving on from that, you guys are probably also aware 2K had 3 major ports released today on the Nintendo Switch, and it's pretty interesting. I thought all of these were going to be priced at $59.99. The reports were that they were going to be $60. However, they are ultimately $50, which does change things a little bit. First of all, we have BioShock the Collection, we have BioShock 1, BioShock 2, and BioShock Infinite. All of these games are fantastic, and BioShock 1 and Infinite in particular are elite-level first-person shooters, legendary first-person shooters. I would go even that far, and to see these released on the Nintendo Switch, that is great. First time these games are being released on a Nintendo platform, and they are all very good. I said BioShock 1 and 3 or Infinite are at an elite level. Well, BioShock 2 is also a very good game that is worthwhile to play. At $50, essentially, you're getting each game for what would it be? $16.67. That's a little bit pricey, given that, you know, the BioShock collection does go for like $15 on PlayStation 4 and other platforms, but still, I think we were expecting this price, and actually I was expecting a $60 price point. $50 is a little bit more palatable. I do expect this to go on sale rather quickly, but very nice to see this. Also, Borderlands the Legendary Collection, which includes Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, Borderlands 2, Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, and all of the game's respective DLC outside of Borderlands 2 Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary. This is a stacked collection, and out of all of these, outside of Xenoblade, $50 for this is giving you a ridiculous amount of gameplay, and I would say is worth the buy. Yes, can you get it cheaper on other platforms? Yes, but not by much, given that Borderlands 1 still goes for like $15 to $20, and then the Handsome Collection goes for like $15 to $20, so it'd still be $30 to $40. The Legendary Collection here, a brand new release on the Switch, $50 for it is pretty good. 30 FPS consistent on the Switch as well, which is pretty good. And again, from a content standpoint, an obscene amount of content. This is going to keep you busy for a very long time, given that Borderlands 1 is great with all the DLC, adds even more longevity. Borderlands 2, so much replayability. DLC adds so much longevity, and Pre-Sequel, I wasn't super high on it, but it's a pretty good game in its own right. More of the same, but you don't need to fix what isn't broken. And Pre-Sequel kind of lives off of that. 3 excellent first-person shooters, even better if you do have a couple of buddies to play with, but also very much enjoyable if you do go in it solo. Borderlands kind of has this stigma where it's only enjoyable in co-op, and I didn't find that to be true at all. I've beaten all of these games multiple times just solo, so you can definitely do it and still have a good time. And lastly, Of course, XCOM 2 Collection. This is another awesome release. This includes XCOM 2, XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, and 4 DLC packs. War of the Chosen is the main edition, and it extends the experience quite a bit. XCOM 2 is already an awesome game. If you're into tactics-based games, this is something that's going to be right up your alley. I'm not aware of how the performance is exactly, so that's something that's going to be rather interesting to look at, given that this was a game that, unlike BioShock and Borderlands, it was only released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So it's going to be interesting to see how it makes the transition to the Switch, but I assume it's going to be pretty good because the developer of this was relatively confident about Switch ports in general, and a lot of games that, you know, we wouldn't expect to see ports on the Switch are actually possible to get on the Nintendo Switch. Whatever the case may be, XCOM 2 is awesome, and this is another game with a ton of replayability. You can tailor the experience and the difficulty exactly how you want it. You can make it incredibly challenging, or you can make it a little bit easier. Whatever you want to do, the power is really in your hands, and it's a game with a lot of depth to it, a lot of strategy, and a lot of fun as well. And again, with War of the Chosen, that extends the experience a lot. And that's going to conclude this video. Maybe this isn't the biggest day of Nintendo Switch game releases ever, but man, I really have to think it's up there with some of those heavy hitter days. I mean, we're getting a big first party title in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, and 3 major franchises making the transition to the Switch. That's as good of a day as ever. But that's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.